Hi everybody, this is Danny from Upperline, and today we are going to be talking about setting up and using AFrame, which is this amazing JavaScript library that allows you to build virtual reality environments through HTML and JavaScript. It's amazing. It's built by the folks at Mozilla, but it's all open source, it's free, and really easy to use. And in this video, we're just gonna get started by setting everything up. So before we do that, I just want to look at a few examples. So if you go to aframe.io, this is their main page, and you can see here, let's open like the most basic example, this hello WebVR, and we can see that we can move around, we can use our mouse to turn. If you have Google Cardboard or an Oculus Rift or the HTC Vive, you can also connect to that and actually put on a headset and be in this environment. There's obviously much more you can do than just put some shapes down. Okay, here's something else. So here's our cool virtual reality aesthetic. We can take a look. This is a cool spot. Here's this shopping app, which allows you to move around and sort of see different collections and add clothes to people. Anyway, you get the point. It's virtual reality. It's really fun stuff. So to get started, let's just go to the Get Started button. This is probably the best place to start. And this is the documentation for AFrame. It's pretty straightforward. I would start, if I was brand new, with this building a basic scene guide. You can click on that and it really will walk you through everything. We're going to do just that. So we're going to do it over here in Cloud9, which is our online IDE. And I've created a folder called AFrame Intro and CD'd into that directory. And just as if you were creating a regular website, we need an index.html page. So we'll type touch index.html. And let's open that up in our text editor. And let's just add in the basic HTML boilerplate. So we have our head and we have our body. And in our head, this is where things change from a regular page. We need to import a script, and that script is going to be the AFrame library. So for those of you who don't know what a library is just a collection of code that has been written by other developers that allows you to integrate their code into your work. So here we can see they give us this script tag, so I'm just going to copy and paste that into our IDE. Make our lives way easier. And then the rest of the work we're going to do here is in the body. So writing for AFrame is actually really similar to writing for HTML. You're creating tags in your HTML page, but the tags look slightly different, or they have slightly different names. So we can see here that the first tag is this A-scene tag. The A-scene tag is basically saying this is the environment, this is the scene. Everything that's going to happen inside of our virtual reality environment needs to be inside of the A-scene tag. So we'll create our A-scene opening and closing tags. Now, if I were to run this, we'll just click preview and we'll live preview it and open up. We don't really see anything because we haven't placed anything in our scene, but we know that this is working because down here at the bottom we can see this Google Cardboard or viewer button. So we're set up well. So next thing that we want to do is let's place a object on the scene. So really easy object to start with is a sphere. And we can see over here, this is actually one of the things. They use a box, so we could do a box or a sphere, really similar. It's got an opening tag, it's got some attributes, in this case the color is red, and then it's got a closing tag. So let's do that. So we'll type A dash, let's do sphere. And let's make it a blue sphere, so we'll make the color equals blue, and we'll close this. And let's refresh our page now and see what this looks like. Well, I don't see anything, but maybe if I move around, oh, there it is. Our sphere is right below us, and this is an interesting thing to note, is that our camera starts off at point 0, 0, 0, an x-coordinate of 0, a y-coordinate of 0, and a z-coordinate of 0. Remember, we're thinking in 3D. And if I don't either change the position of my camera or change the position of the objects, they're all going to end up in exactly the same place, right, at the origin. So if we wanted to change the position of this sphere, we could do that by adding in an attribute that is position. And let me close this off. And the position will take 3 pieces of information: your x-coordinate, your y-coordinate, and your z-coordinate. There's a good, let's see, here we go. This is a good way to think about it with your fingers. X is if you're looking left and right, y is up and down, and z is forwards and backwards. So if I wanted to place something directly in front of me, maybe up a little bit, so maybe up 1 meter, and AFrame is, all these numbers are in meters, so maybe up a meter, and then back from the camera 5 meters. Let's see if we can do that. So we wanted the x-coordinate not to change, so we still want it at 0. Our y-coordinate we want 1 meter up, and our z-coordinate we want 5 meters. I think it's 5. It might be -5. We'll have to check that. So let's save and refresh. And it looks like it was probably, yep, we put it behind us. So if we want it to go further away from us, we actually need this to be a -5. And let's try that one more time. Hey, there it is. So now we can move forward and backwards, we can go left and right, but it starts off at that point. So let's just put a box next to it, and we'll change the color of the box. So let's make this a red box. And if we're going to place it to the right of the sphere, let's place it 2 meters off to the right. And we can also scale it up. So we can use the scale. So let's say we want this box to be twice the size of the sphere. So we can scale it exactly the same way, and we're scaling each axis. So x, y, and z. And it's still the same height, and it's still the same distance from us away. So let's take a look at this. Hey, there it is. That's pretty cool. Kind of looks like I don't know, like an atom of some sort. I don't know. I'm not a chemist here. I kind of want to put one blue one over here, but I'm getting distracted. So we've placed a couple of spheres. We could change this to a box if we wanted to. Let's do that just so that we can see what that looks like. Uh-oh, what happened? Oh, we need to obviously change our closing tag. Oh, let's refresh. There we have our box. So at this point, you should now be able to place objects on the screen and move them to different locations. One other thing to start playing with, if you hit Control-Alt-I, this will actually take you to the inspector, which is this amazing tool that allows you to look at and play with your scene. So right here we can see this is our camera, the center point, and then you can see the 2 objects. And on the left side, you can click on the different objects and move them around if you want to say, let's say we want to put our sphere somewhere else. We want to move it further up and maybe further on top of the box right there. And then on the right side, you can see how those attributes change, so that if I want to go back to my code and change it permanently, I can just say, well, I would like the x to be around 2, the y to be around 4 and the z still to be -5. So go in here and start playing with all these different things just to get started. We'll talk a lot more about this in future videos. Great. All right, thanks for joining for this, and see you on the next one.